Hey there. So, welcome to another episode. This is just, I didn't want to do an intro song or anything because I just wanted to chat with you about what's going on. I want to upload this without having to send it to my producer to edit it. So, I just wanted to chat with you as if we were on the phone and give you a little encouragement and just my thoughts. So, as most of you know, I am in New York City and everything is calm and amazing here. I actually have a grocery store on my corner that's fully stocked. I just went there yesterday. I was able to order things on Amazon and get things delivered. I actually have toilet paper. And so all is good. I feel extremely blessed to have the things that I have. And so, even when there's not a tragedy, even when I'm just feeling down, I realize I already have coping mechanisms to deal with these kinds of things. And so even when there's nothing going on, I'll always stop and think, okay, do I have my physical health? And obviously that's at the top of our minds right now. We're all trying to avoid getting the coronavirus. So, but if you have your health right now and you are not sick, a lot of us could even have already had this virus, which I think I had it over Christmas. I'm not even kidding. Like, I really think I already had this because I had it in my body for 2 weeks. It was the most weird flu, temperature going up and down. I don't really remember a dry cough, but I felt tired. Like it was just I was just sluggish. And then over the whole holiday, the entire time I was back home, and I recovered. So if it was already circulating, which a lot of people are saying that this has probably already been here for quite some time. And we had the huge flu, quote unquote, flu epidemic that spiked to record highs over the winter months before like November, December. And so, a lot of these experts are saying this could have very well have already been the coronavirus. So that would be great news. And I hope that those stories continue to play out. Obviously, there's other areas like Italy. One of my very good friends from high school is in Italy and seeing a completely different picture. And that's so scary. And I cannot imagine what it's like for some of the people in these different parts of the world. So if you're in Italy, our hearts go out to you because I know that I'm speaking to you in so many different countries. We have so many people that listen to this podcast in Australia and Canada, all over Europe, all over the Middle East, in Africa, in South Africa. I mean, it's incredible the reach that we have. So wherever you are in the world, if you have your health, if your family has their health, then I want us to all just collectively take a big, in fact, just do that with me. Let's just take a deep breath together. Just remembering to breathe like that, remembering to take moments. And I know it's hard not to watch the news. I'm watching the news, but then today I have it completely turned off all day. I watched it in the morning, like, okay, I'm not going to miss the major stuff. People are going to tell me, people are sending me links to things like I'm getting the major announcements, and we don't need to hear the play-by-play of every single part of the world. It's not your world. It's not your part of the world. It's like you focus on your part. So this is what I always do, even when I'm not in a crisis and I'm just feeling down. I always take an inventory. Okay. Do I have a roof over my head? Yes. Do I have money in the bank? Yes. Do I have a job? Yes. Do I have a future? Like all these things, like, yes, you have a future, you have a job. I have friends, I have family, I have people that love me and care about me. And I have, then I think about, after the people come a close second, although my dogs rank higher than a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? If you have dogs or cats. But I think about my puppies and how lucky I am to have them. And then just look around your home. Like, do you have a computer? Do you have more than one? Do you have computers and iPads and like smartphones? And do you have like plants growing in your home? Do you have food in your refrigerator? Do you have enough food that, a lot of us now, we've stocked up, right? And we have enough food that can last us probably a good month or two if we really had to. But the reality is we probably won't even have to do that. Even in the most hardest hit areas, they still have food supply. That's not going to be a thing that we worry about during this. We will still be able to get food delivered to us. And most of us live in countries where our professionals and our politicians, I mean, everybody's coming together and really doing everything they possibly can. Communities are coming together. It's of course it's not a good situation, right? But I think it's cool to just look at all the things that happen when this sort of situation hits. And we've never seen this before. So also consider yourself lucky that you get to see this situation. I mean, I know it's not a good situation, but like it's going to be over, and then you're going to be able to have witnessed what it looks like. And then how is it going to change everything moving forward? I always think of like, the first concert you go to after this, it's going to be like a whole love fest. Oh my gosh, I just got chills thinking of it. Like, can you imagine like when we can gather again and in huge, like wherever you go to listen to music or people that can go to Broadway shows again, there's going to be such a sense of like, hey, this is so great to be with each other again. And we're going to appreciate being with people live and in person and being able to touch each other again and give hugs and shake hands and be, although maybe this will change. Like maybe we won't shake hands as much anymore. Maybe that'll be a thing. Maybe we'll be more like the Japanese. Maybe we'll bow. Maybe we'll do maybe the elbow bump will be the thing that we do from now on. Who knows like how it all will play out, but this is something that's going to forever change the trajectory of how things work and how we view the world. We're never going to let our toilet paper get down to the last roll again, but and then maybe you will, and you'll be like, wow, I remember during the coronavirus days, I would have never let myself run out of toilet paper. And now I'm like back to feeling like I don't have to worry. I can just order on Amazon. It'll be here tomorrow. Like online grocery, like even in New York City, I went to look at Instacart and the delivery is not for 5 days. It's like, that's pretty crazy when I could usually get my order within 1 hour. Now I have to wait 5 days. So it's things like we're going to appreciate things more. We're going to really appreciate our health. We'll probably all wash our hands way more. It's going to develop much more clean habits. And, so there's just going to be a lot of things that come out of this that really change. Now, I understand everybody is in a different economic situation. And so the only thing I can tell you is that you will get through it. And there will be jobs. There will be, just because we are locked down doesn't mean that products aren't still needed, services aren't still needed. And so there's going to be a lot of pent up things there's going to be new things that explode from this. Who knows? Maybe you'll discover a different kind of job that you want to do. So what can you do with this time? Like literally. And I know I'm saying this, but then I felt like such a weirdo in my apartment. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm looking out the window. Everything looks the same. I could literally do everything I normally do. Yet I feel like I'm paralyzed. Like, I feel like I just need to sit and stare out the window or, look at the news or be on social media. I mean, we're feeling this sense of we feel out of control, right? We're out of control. We cannot control, you and me. We can't control this. There's nothing we can do other than focus on our orbit. So that's what I want to encourage you to do. So like, what can you focus on that is under your control? So you can get the food you need. You can figure out who you can help. You can figure out, okay, are your friends, who needs help? Who can you take care of? Are you taking care of yourself? And if you're all hunkered down or if you have a job where you have to work, whatever, like think about all the things you have to do logistically and then try to come up with your new routine. What do you do in this new routine? And just figure out a way to make it work. And so look, and if you have a lot of downtime right now, then you have more time to read, listen to podcasts, journal. A lot of therapists are doing online therapy. A lot of people are doing free services right now because, they are offering things to people that are in need. I mean, there's a million things you could really brainstorm and be like, okay, if you're not sick and you're just in your home and you feel like this feels scary, but nobody is out to get you. Like, you're not going to die. I mean, the likelihood that the coronavirus kills you is extraordinarily low. So like I said before, the statistics, I believe, are going to get better and better. And as they roll out this national testing where people can be tested in Walmart parking lots and Walgreens, I believe that we are going to find out, this is my own personal belief, I believe we're going to find out that a ton of people have coronavirus and a ton of people aren't sick. And so I believe we'll move to protecting our elderly and the most vulnerable. And those will be the things that really we have to be careful. Like, don't go visit grandparents in retirement homes or at their homes. Like, really protect our elderly or people that are the most vulnerable, that have autoimmune. Like, those are the ones that we already need to be protecting. But I'm just saying, like, I think that there will be a collective ease. Like, we're all going to be able to just relax a little bit. And it doesn't mean we may not still be quarantined or still have to hunker down a little bit longer. But isn't it cool that we have the ability to communicate with everyone so quickly? Like, hey, everyone, stay home. Everybody, close bars, restaurants. We're all going to stop moving around. We're all going to stop connecting. We're going to keep this from spreading. We're going to save each other. We're going to band together. We're going to do radical extreme measures because we all care about each other so much and we don't want to see anybody get hurt. We want to limit this amount as much as possible. So everyone, stop what you're doing, stay home, don't go to school, don't go to concerts, and just chill. And a lot of people, like, I just think of waitresses. I mean, you just think of all these people that, like, yeah, that sounds great, but I make no money doing that. I mean, but you know what? There's all this money coming from the government. There's all these things that are popping up online where people are going to help you. So, like, I just believe God provides, and I'm not on here to try to give you all the answers or cover all the bases or I'm not a politician, right? I'm a relationship girl. So, but I also feel such a connection to you guys, and I want to extend any kind of words of peace, just thoughts, like we're hanging out, talking about all the different scenarios. And I really popped on here because someone posted in the group, in our private Facebook group, and it's free, by the way. You can join the Gumball Love VIP private Facebook group, that she was feeling lonely, and that's like, oh my gosh, I really don't want to be alone through this. And yeah, it is kind of like scary, right? You don't want to go through scary things alone, but you're not alone, okay? You are not alone. You have family, you have friends, you have people. And if you need to talk to somebody and you're feeling really bad, I want you to call. I'm offering anyone who feels like they are in a bad place, or if you're in a relationship where now you are stuck with someone or you're quarantined, I'm offering free coaching to anybody that needs help. So please reach out to me. I'm just going to book quick calls. I want to get on the phone with you. I'll send you a link to a Zoom chat and we'll get on and chat. Please do not sit and feel in despair or lonely or in pain. I would love to talk to you, so please feel free to reach out to me, melissa@gumballlove.com, or you can DM me on Instagram. I'm the Melissa Ledger on Instagram, TheMelissaLegger. So I just want to extend that to you as well, because, sometimes we can, look, I'm going to admit to you, yesterday I went to the grocery store and it was weird. It was like, I already had groceries, but I thought maybe I should just get more. And so I went and got more groceries, and there was actually no one in there. And the grocery store was stocked. But then there was no one in there. And it was like, this is so weird. And, everyone thinks New York City is just this hustle bustle. But when something like this happens, it's like a ghost town here, which is also super weird, because when you think about it, New York City's bustle and bustle, whatever, is made up of tourists and all the people that come in from the outer boroughs, Brooklyn, Queens, Long Island, Bronx, Jersey. All these people come into the city and fill it up through the day, and kids going to school. You remove the tourists, you remove the commuters, and you just have locals. And then a lot of the locals bail and they go to country houses. They go to family that lives in the surrounding areas. I saw a bunch of people packing up suitcases and leaving. My hallways in my apartment building are quiet. And people are here, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's not an empty building, but it's just, you get used to a certain energy and you get used to the way it looks in your community. So in Manhattan, it's just like bizarre. And then a New York City where no bar or restaurant has people in it. It's like, I haven't even walked up there. It's like, I want to, and then I don't. And then I thought maybe I should just go to the gym. Nope. They closed the gym. So it's like all of these things. And so I stood in the grocery store and I'm putting canned food and I just like broke down. And thank God, Dr. Debbie Maggots, who's been on this podcast, she's a famous TV psychologist and has a private practice in New York. She did an amazing video of how it's okay to just cry. Like, this is scary, and just let it out. Like, we don't have to cover that up. And so I did. I just cried. And then like somebody came around the corner and I just turned my head. I wasn't like bawling, but I just kind of like had a moment in the grocery store. I was like, God, this is so scary. And so then I collect myself, but it's just good to let it out. And so if you need to cry, cry. If you book a session with me and you need to just cry with me, I will totally be there for you. Everyone cries in their first session anyway. So I'm used to everyone crying. So funny when people finally book a session, it's like people wait forever to talk about their relationship, and most people get to a point where they're like, oh my God, I can't hold this in anymore. And then they finally see me and they start talking about it and the whole thing just floods out. So it's like, I almost expect crying on your first session anyway. So if you need to talk to me, I totally get it. If you just need to just let it all out with somebody, I'm happy to be that person for you. So, and I mean that. So please, if you need something, if you need help, we'll jump on a call. Let's just talk through it really quick. And if you're with somebody that is abusive and controlling and manipulative, and now you're stuck in a house with them, I can help you with some coping mechanisms for that too. So if you want to book a session like that, if you can just send me a quick email, like, here's my situation, here's what I want to talk through, so we can use our time as the most valuable. And I can give you the best tips I can. So just say, okay, what's really helpful for me is to know, okay, what's the backstory? How long have you been with him? Or how long were you with him? So with a guy for this amount. Your ages help me too, so I can kind of picture where you are in life. Were you married, divorced? So give me like the stats. We were married for 6 years. We broke up. We're back together. I'm living with him. I'm at his house, or is he at your house? Like, give me the overall 30,000 foot view, and then tell me these are my main struggles, and that'll give me a good place to start, so we can kind of dive in, and I'll already be on the same page with you. Sorry, my text messages are going off. So I know it's like, this is crazy. And so it's okay to be like, this is crazy. But then, what I'm also doing is I turn the TV off and then I go to comedy. So like, I think, coronavirus isn't really funny, but we have to find funny things about it, or it's just going to be, like I remember when my grandmother was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And Alzheimer's is not funny, but we were in the hospital and my grandma tried to bite the nurse. And so I can't even say it without laughing. It was not funny at all, but then it was funny. It was just like, oh my God, we all like sat there in this hospital room and we were sad, and then we just cracked up. It was like so hilarious. Like, she would never have done that in a million years. And it was just like seeing it in front of our eyes. So like, Alzheimer's isn't funny, but sometimes you just have to laugh in the midst of weird stuff happening. And so it's like, and even at funerals, sometimes there's just people, I love inappropriate people at funerals. Like, please make something funny. Please crack a joke, say something at the wrong time. Like, we need that, right? We need the release. So put on your favorite shows. Like, I've been watching Star Trek Next Generation. I haven't watched that in a while. And I love those shows. And it just makes me feel happy. I love those shows. Gosh, why did they take Friends off of Netflix? We need Friends so bad. I have to find out when that comes out on HBO Max. I know they're going to re-release it. So yeah, we need to be able to find humor, look up all the memes, share memes, share fun things. I've been sharing like there's this cute little dog that put his head on the top of a cow's face. Like the cow and the dog were like best friends, and the dog would just rest its head on the cow's face as it would sit there and chew and chew and chew, and the dog just closes its eyes and just kind of rests its head on the little cow's nose. I'm like, oh my God, this is so cute. Just things like that warm your heart. Share those things and reach out to people. And here's the thing too, like this is true in any case, when things are bad for you, when you help other people and you reach out to other people, you help yourself too. You fill somebody else's bucket, you're going to fill your own. And that's just the magical thing. And also remember, if you're a person of faith, God knows the coronavirus. He knows about it. This is not new news to him. He's got you covered. So have faith, pray. And when it comes to your significant other, whether he's in your life or not, and you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm so lonely. Like, look, we've only been at this for a couple of weeks, right? I mean, were you expecting to meet him in March or April of 2020? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know you'd want to be quarantined but do you want to be quarantined with somebody like that you're newly dating? Maybe you don't know each other well enough to be quarantined together. Like, maybe that wouldn't be the ideal. Or maybe it's totally ideal. Maybe you're going to meet somebody in the weirdest way and you just don't know it yet. Like, I just posted this in the private Facebook group, but like, people are in different spots right now than they normally are. Everyone's kind of in a flux. So you could meet some dude because he happens to be with his family when he normally wouldn't have been, but now he's with family and you happen to cross paths because you guys have, someone mutually. And I referenced Paolo from Friends. Rachel Green met Paolo during the blackout and she never would have met him had there not been a blackout. You know what I mean? So like, you never know. Let me just tell you something. You never know when your love story is about to begin. The day will come and he will show up. And that's it. And you will never be single again. And you don't know when that day is coming. So I just want you to remember that and be in positive expectation. Don't let the coronavirus make you think you're never going to find love. I mean, this is just going to be a temporary thing. They're already saying that I just got a message here that it says it looks like 94% of the COVID transmission in Seattle is from a single introduction in late January from China. So, like, you guys, this is probably already everywhere. I really think it is. I mean, I think you're talking to somebody who already had it at Christmas time. And so I think we're going to find out, like, I don't know how quick, but you know how we are on social media. We're going to be like, does everyone already have this? And then everyone's going to start not caring pretty quickly. Like, not that we shouldn't care, but, the flu could be worse and maybe not. Please take this with a grain of salt. But I'm just saying, like, I have a good feeling that this has already been around. People have already had it and gotten over it. There's so many people that were quarantined that never felt any symptoms. So it's not like if you get it, you have a death sentence. Okay. There are people that have died and that is very serious, but most of them have been elderly. Most of them had previous existing conditions that would make the coronavirus extremely deadly in their bodies. But for the average person that's healthy walking around, it's going to be like a flu or less. I mean, one lady just on TV, she said she had it and she goes, I'm talking to people that actually have the flu and body aches, and they were saying, I wish I had the coronavirus. So look, it's too early to start making predictions, but I'm just kind of looking at all the information I have right now, and I'm just, basing it on the fact that I don't see sick people around me and I live in New York City. Like, none of my neighbors are sick. Nobody's saying they have this. So let's all relax. This does not mean you're not going to meet the guy. The guy could be, look, you could meet a guy because of coronavirus. You never know. What if you both really have it and you get quarantined together? I mean, stranger things have happened. So I want you to just take a breath, and maybe you're going to meet him in summer of 2020 when it's all over with. at a gathering where everyone is so happy to be reconnecting again. I just think that's like such a warm, fuzzy thought. Let's just think about that. Like concerts and summer fun gatherings where people feel so good to be reconnecting and getting human contact again and remembering this time. This time is almost worse than a 9/11 because 9/11 was one day and many years of recovery for sure. But this is different. This affects every single person in the world in the same way. And it's a huge worldwide bonding experience. And we get to see the world in a totally different way. So, yes, there are negative things to focus on, but there are positive things. So, let's not let a few months, even I bet you this is 3 months. My dad always says everything is 90 days. I bet you in 90 days, like everything will look different or less. I think it'll be like a 30, 60, 90. Like, and I actually think even less than like, I think it'll be like, okay, let's see what happens this week. And then look at when the testing starts rolling out. I think we're all going to start feeling better and better. Like, okay, more people got tested. Here are the results. More people got tested. Here are the results. It's going to be like an election return with coronavirus results. We're going to be like, okay, then you're going to know your community better. Like, okay, this community tested and these are the results. And then everyone's going to start feeling a little bit more relaxed and we'll start to see everything change and the borders will open up. People will start traveling again. Look, it's going to get better, right? So relax. This does not prevent you from finding love. You're still going to go on with your life. Coronavirus will be something in the past and you will not be alone. So don't let the weirdness of the moment mess with your perception of God's plan for your future and who he has for you in your life. Because let me tell you, when he chooses the person for you, it's gonna blow you away. He knows exactly what you need. He knows exactly what you want. And he knows exactly the time to give that person to you. And so I want you to just have steady faith, relax, take a deep breath. One more breath. Doesn't that just feel great? Just remember how good that feels. Take deep breaths. Remember, God is in control. He knows what you want. He knows your heart's desire. And I also want you to know one thing. The work that you do on yourself before you meet the guy is so important. Don't think, oh, I'm just going to work on myself and then I'm going to meet a guy and that's not going to matter anymore. The work that you do before your relationship is like mission critical because it will prevent you from being too insecure. It will prevent you from saying a whole slew of things that you normally would have said, but you're not saying them. Oh my gosh, I just realized I have my microphone turned the wrong direction. I hope this wasn't super annoying, like only in one earpod. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize I had it turned to the side. So I want you to just keep in mind, oh, I was totally talking in one side. Let me just test this out. I'm so sorry. I totally hear it in both ears now. I was so into it. I'm not going to re-record it. So sorry for the one-eared now 28 minutes in. It's like, sorry, coronavirus distractions. Normally I would totally have noticed that, but I was just so into what I was telling you. So normally, if you don't do the work on yourself and you don't do the healing, when I say work on yourself, it sounds like you're like a project or something, but what I mean is therapy and the stuff we do in the Back to You Academy, like all of these things that you're doing, if you're doing them independently or you join us as the group, and trust me, those efforts that you're making to figure out who you are, to conquer solitude. Let me tell you, use this isolation right now to say, okay, is this isolation making me feel crazy? Like, is it making me feel like, oh my God, I don't know. Okay, so let's say it is making you feel crazy. Identify what you need to do to make yourself not feel that way. And so ask yourself, like, what is it that I could do with my time? What am I interested in? What does get my attention? You can, of course, every one of us can numb with a Netflix series. That's easy, but that's not an interest. Watching Netflix series does not make you interesting. So maybe you could paint something, draw something. Does that get your attention? What if you watch a documentary on something that's of interest to you? What if you started experimenting and cooking because you've always thought about doing something, but you never really had the time? Or what if you have a book you've been wanting to read? You know what? I just saw there's a whole bunch of online classes that Ivy League colleges are allowing for free. You could sign up for classes right now. What are people offering? What gets your attention? What can you do virtually? I mean, you can explore your interests right from your living room. So what are those? And what can actually captivate you? And something that just captivates you, not like it needs to be something that you are genuinely interested in. And look, you might have to try some things before you figure out what it is you're interested in. But use this time to say, okay, I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling lonely. You have to conquer that before you are in a relationship, because the person you're in a relationship with is not there to make you feel like you're not lonely. The person that you date cannot be responsible for entertaining you, for making you feel good, for giving you a high self-esteem. Because trust me, when you meet a man with a high self-esteem, who's happy, who's excited about life, who's also done the work on himself, he just wants to share life with you. He wants to be with you. He likes you. He loves you if he falls in love with you, but you can't lean fully on him. You need to be standing sturdy on your own, because you need to be able to navigate in your own life every day. And as you ebb and flow, like when you're dating somebody, you're texting, you're talking on the phone, maybe through the day or at the end of the day, whatever your relationship tempo kind of, everybody has a different flow and how they communicate. So however that looks for you, then in those times that you're not speaking, what are you doing with yourself? And are you able to focus on things that also bring you satisfaction and happiness and contribute to your life? It's so important that you hold on to these things. A friend of mine was just telling me about her grandparents that are fighting all the time because the grandma has nothing to do in retirement. And grandpa has all kinds of stuff he loves to do. But grandma is driving him crazy, and they're fighting. They're not speaking. It's ridiculous. Why is this happening? Because she doesn't have an identity outside of him. She doesn't know what to do when he's not with her. And that is too much weight, even 30, 40 years down the road. So it's so important that we do this forever. This is what will make your relationship great, is by you knowing who you are and how you keep yourself busy in your life that's independent from him. He needs to know that when he's not with you, that you're doing other things, because that's super sexy. What'd you do today? Like before I didn't have anything. I was like going to work and I was on Match.com. And so when I dated a guy, I was just all about him. Like I didn't have stuff that I was doing that was outside of him. And so I didn't understand what was going on. And then I would lose my whatever was left of me in him. And then the breakup would just kill me because I didn't have anything else but him in my life. And then I would let work stuff get behind. And, I didn't know how to have my own life and date him. And so if he went away, it's still, of course, I'm human. You're going to have heartbreak and you're going to mourn the loss. You're not going to lose your whole life. At this point, if I find somebody and they leave, it'll gut me for sure. I'm not going to be, I'm human. If I fell in love and then I lost that love, it would be horrible, because heartbreak is heartbreak. I don't care who you are. However, I would still have my dancing. I would still have you guys. I still have the content I create for Gumball Love. I still have my full-time job. I still have my friendships that I've maintained. And let me tell you, I've worked really hard to put all those things in place. And so you can build this extremely happy life if you're willing to put in the work. Because that work is what holds the relationship you want. That's what's going to help sustain it and keep it interesting. And think about it. You don't want a guy who has nothing else going on in his life. You want a guy that has interest, that's, reading, that's researching, that's going and doing things, hanging out with his friends, that has hobbies, that has weird quirks, that has a fun sense of humor. Like you want him to have people in his life. You want him to have work that he enjoys. You want him to have interests. You want him to bring new things to the table. So you have all these things to discuss. And I talked about this in a previous episode, but I'm going to get deeper on this. This is where you can really figure out what you need. What do you need in a relationship that is going to be the things that you're like, if I find this, then, and I think I've told you guys before, I've told the girls in the academy a million times, but with something I know that I need is someone who's a thinker, someone who's always reading, researching, somebody really smart, somebody really intellectual, someone that I can talk to forever. Someone who, if they get paralyzed from the neck down, that I will always be able to have conversation. So conversation around all topics at a deep level. If I want to go deep, I'm not going deep on conspiracy theories and all kinds of stuff all the time, but I like to be able to discuss those things and have a lot of bandwidth to work with. And that's really important. And I've gone on a lot of dates and that's not there. And so when you identify, this is my most important need, I have to have this, then you start really looking at people differently because you start to understand this is what is going to be sustainable and this is what's going to sustain a relationship long term. What is that thing? What is the thing that you need? And this is going to be a recurring theme. You're going to hear me say this again because I want you to be very clear, because it's important to know why you need the man. You may not need him to survive, but when we say we want love, then what if we change that to I need love? And then what do you need that love to have, that person? What is it you're going to need? Because you don't just want generic love. You want a specific kind. What kind of love do you need? What kind of man do you need? And then it's scary to say, but I want you to admit, I need a man. What? All the feminist vibes are like, wait, what? I shouldn't say that. But you kind of do. Because you really want one, don't you? So say you need it. I need this. Here's what's cool about this. When you can say, I need it, and it flips a different switch, because it's like, when a man can provide those needs, when he can meet those needs, then you will be able to genuinely tell him, you have what I need. And then he will know he has what you need, right? And then it makes it so much easier to express what you need from him. Therefore, he knows that he can be the right person for you. We're trying to find compatibility, which, trust me, is important, but it's hard to say this without saying need so many times. But what do you need? Does he fulfill those needs? Does he feel needed? Also, do you feel needed? What does he need in you? Of course we can survive without these things, but we don't want to. So it's okay to say, I need that. I need that. And then when he shows up, you can be like, I need this in my life. And that's the first vulnerability, like when you first feel vulnerable to say that. But it's also brings you very close, because we can't have everything. Yes, you can be a whole person, but your significant other is going to bring things into your life that you don't have right now. And that's beautiful. And you are going to bring things into his life that he doesn't have. And he wants them. He needs them. So there is a man, I want you to just flip this around. There's a man out there right now that needs you. So don't focus on the guy who's not texting you back, because there's a guy that needs you to move on from him. You got to move on from the guy who doesn't need what you have. And, the gumball guy, he needs to be fed attention, which isn't he needs that attention to fill a void, but it's not really, I'm talking about, what do you need that only one person can really give? Think about a friend. Every friend you have is something you need. Like when I look at different friends, they're not the same. I need certain things in friends, and I get these very unique combinations, right? You get these neat combinations with think of girlfriends that are like, one's funny, one's very logical and is going to give you that advice that she's not going to lie to you or BS you. And then the other friend is going to be, something completely different. Somebody's going to be really funny and like going to find a way to crack jokes and turn the whole mess into something that you're like, okay, why was I overthinking that? Each friend fulfills a need, and that makes her special and unique. Think about your mother, your sister, your brother. Think about the needs that they meet. They're meeting needs. You are meeting needs in other people. So really start to think about, and maybe you can ask somebody, what is it that I give you that you need? That's a cool question, right? What is it that I give you that you need? And let them answer, and enjoy learning your unique qualities and gifts that you give. And also understand that there's one guy that needs that particular combination of things. So we can't get down on the guy that isn't quite clicking with you, or is able to ghost, or isn't in the right time, or acts weird, or is rude. He's just not it. That's not the one. And so, because he doesn't have the needs for your combination. So you've got to find the one that does. And what's so cool is that the one that needs you, you need to. And that to me is proof that God exists, because that combination, you see it in so many couples, and it's just like, wow, they fit. And I'm telling you, like, I've been able to predict this with so many people I've met, like the people I know. You ever watch somebody that you know really well, and you watch them date guys, and you're like, yeah, I don't know. And then all of a sudden they find the one, and you're like, oh, they're totally going to be married. I've said that like early on, and some of my little cousins, I'm like, yep, that's the one. And it just fits. It just clicks. It's just, you can just see them being themselves fully together. They fully enjoy each other, and they enjoy themselves with each other. You need to be able to fully enjoy yourself with that person. And that, because when they are getting their needs met from you, from you just being yourself. I should have prefaced that. You are going to meet a need, multiple needs in somebody, only by being yourself. The dude is going to show up for you, and he's just going to have it. And you're going to be like, what is going on? Then you're going to go, oh my God, thank God I didn't text that one dude back. Thank God I blocked this guy. So you got to block these dudes that aren't right for you, that are showing up in your DMs. It's like, you don't owe these guys an explanation. The ones that are begging, the ones that you block and then they show up in another platform, it's like, dude, go away, get a life, dude. Like, these are people that are desperado, like they need to go. And it's like, I'm sorry that you're popping up in a different platform because you couldn't get the hint at the other one. You don't even owe them an explanation. Just freaking delete, block, don't respond. My good friend Stacy, we had this phrase at work. I think I've even said this before. GTK, NMP, good to know, not my problem. Because we had this huge transition at our work where it was like we went through this merger, and then they started giving us all these jobs that weren't our job. They would come to us and tell us stuff, and it's like, oh, it's good to know, but not my problem. This is not my problem to solve. I am not going to take all this on. So, hey, buddy, I see that you've messaged me from WhatsApp because I blocked your phone. Good to know. It's not your problem. This is not your problem to babysit him through his hard times of texting a girl back and saying ridiculous stuff that is in no way contributing to your life. So we have to cut the ties of the past. We have to get excited about the guy that you had, your combination, your packaging, your outsides, your insides, your sense of humor, all your weird quirks. Let me tell you, it will come to you. This dude is out there. But you have to have the courage to let go of these guys that do not deserve your time. You don't have what they need. And they don't have what you need. And that's okay. I mean, you guys, there's so many people out there. Go find the right one. Let's stop trying to make the wrong guy fit. Okay? Because you know what? Even if you got everything you wanted and he's finally in the living room, you don't want him anyway. You know it. Sometimes you have to just do that. Like, I know I want this guy to text me back, but let's just say if he was really like pursuing me, do I really want this? Do I want a life with this dude? I don't. You know what I mean? Like, just be honest with yourself. Like, really, I mean, I know it's like, I don't want him to text me. I don't want to, we were talking about this in the academy. They're like, Melissa, what is wrong with me? I'm like, well, you don't really want him to text you, but then you do because you want him to want you, but you don't really want him. But then you don't like the idea of him not wanting you. And so you want to be desired, yet you also want to reject him because you don't actually want to be with him, but then you kind of want him to want to be with you. And they were like, oh my God, that is so weird. But it's true. It's like we want to be desired, but then if we actually got what we think we wanted, we don't really want that. So we have to just be honest. Like, okay, I know it's going to suck. Like you're going to block all these dudes. You're going to block the one dude. And then your phone is not going to go off and there's going to be quiet. And that might suck for a while. But let me just tell you, I did this a long time ago and life got so great. And it got so, oh my gosh, like all my dreams came true, like for real. I got to move here. I started ballroom dancing. I started building my business. I started to do much better in my corporate job. I started to make friends. My friends are authors and podcasters, people I used to dream about being associated with. I mean, I can call Kara Alwell-Leba from the Champagne Diet and we can chat on the phone because I feel like I'm her equal. Like we're in this fight together. And you know what? By the way, she has an amazing podcast about calming your fears during this time. And it'll be much shorter than mine because, I can never do a short podcast. And I'm going to be rolling out all the other Gumball Love flavors. So if you want to be studying Gumball Guys and all the flavors of attention, I'm going to be doing that for you too. So anyway, I want you to just please hear me that this work that we do together is so worth it. Okay? Just trust me. It's worth it. It's so worth it. Because when you meet a guy and you're not going to be ready. We're never ready. So fun. God's probably like, oh, did you think you were going to do all that work? And you're not going to finish all the workbooks of, your personal journey of, self or professional or personal development. You're not going to ever be done. The guy's going to come somewhere in this process. But when you really move past those insecurities, you really get through the PTSD of Gumball Guys, where there's fear and trauma that hits you. You're afraid they're not texting you back. You're afraid they're going to leave you. You need I think you need a support system to work through those things, even through the relationship. So what I like to do is help you now, give you the guidance and the basically the structure and the template. There's a different word I'm trying to think of. I just said it to one of my clients because one of my girls in the academy, she's done so well. Dana, I'm going to shout you out. We just had our one-on-one and she's like killing it. She had such an amazing transformation. The girl I met coming into the Back to You Academy and the girl I see now, it's like the beautiful girl that I saw came forward, and she was able to shed doubt and insecurities and guys that weren't treating her the way she should be treated. She's able to block. She's able to move on from one guy that was like the hardest to move on from. And now she's ready to experience relationships differently. She's able to date, and if it doesn't go that great on the first day, it's not like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? She's like, yeah, just wasn't a fit. And she can move on and still stay happy. And that's where you want to be. You don't want to be on that roller coaster because it's just not necessary. Remember, she's going to go find the guy that needs Dana, not the guy. We're not trying to be all things to all men. When guys are like, men, like everyone with a penis needs the same thing. I don't think so. We don't all need the same things. We don't all need the same things. So this is where we want to get really specific and really clear on what our unique gifts are, because then you can look for somebody that's like, oh, I have what they need. They have what I need. This is cool. Gives you so much more confidence in your relationship because now you're not trying to be, it's not about being sexy enough. It's not about being smart enough. It's like all that stuff doesn't matter when you click in those areas. I can't stress it enough. So my goal for you is to really study who you are, really understand what you have to offer, because in the Back to You Academy, I don't change you at all. My whole goal is not to change you one bit, because you're already so loving. You're already so forgiving. You're such a good friend to your friends. My girls are freaking awesome. All I do is help you see it one day at a time, one text from a guy, one relationship at a time. Wherever you are, we get over the relationship. I help you through that. And it's just, we can only do so much each day. And that's why I wanted to create a support system. I don't really think I can sell you the academy just in the audios. I was like, I can't just give these audios to people. I mean, it's what you listen to when I'm not there, but then I want to be able to help you through, okay, send me screenshots. Let's meet once a month and go through where you are. Let's meet as a group once a week. Every Monday night we get together as a group, give you some group support, give you individual support. And day by day, little by little, things change. And you never feel alone through the process. So if you feel like you need this and you want to join this, and if money is an issue, let me know. Maybe we can just do a coronavirus special. Which sounds so weird and random. But I already feel like I can talk to you guys differently because we're all going through this global pandemic together. Like, isn't that just crazy? Like, do you see how it's bringing us closer? It's creating, you know what? It's creating intimacy. This whole, I had a conference call, 2 conference calls with different clients, and they're actually prospects right now. I don't really even know them very well. We spent 15 minutes of a conference call. We're supposed to be talking about business. And it was like, how are you doing? What's going on? And everyone needed to express their fears. And we all kind of I was thinking, this is so cool. We're having real conversation on corporate conference calls. Kind of nice, to hear the human side of people. So there's just little, silver linings in all these experiences. And if we just look for those and we look for ways we can figure out who we are. One girl said, I'm going to Marie Kondo the heck out of my house. Really, get rid of stuff and clean out closets. And, I have so much of that stuff I need to do. I Marie Kondoed my house. I think it was 2 or 3 years ago. You know what? It's time to do it again. I mean, I really need to do a deep overhaul and get in there, and it feels so amazing. So let's find ways that we can do that. And you do have to shut off the news. Like, listen to it for a while because, we need to be informed. But then ask yourself, okay, is there anything else do I need to know the update in Germany right now? It's like sometimes we're so into it. It's like, okay, does it matter to you? Like, do you know anyone in Germany? You know what I mean? Like, get clear on, okay, what matters? What do I have control over? What do I need to pay attention to in my community, in my home to help my people? And if we all just focused on that, we would be much better off. But I know how it is. Like, we want to know what's going on in the world. I'm not going to pretend like we're not going to watch the news, but I'll tell you, like today, I've had the news off the whole day and it's been great. So I feel much better. And I might turn it on tonight or whatever, do what you want to do, but hours and hours and hours of it turned completely off or turning on something else will be hugely helpful. So listen to your people on other podcasts. Listen to what successful people don't even watch the news at all anyway. They're literally, most people that are high achievers do not listen to the news incessantly or give it hours of their time all day. They are informed, they know, they take their headlines, and then they go about their business. So figure out what you can do. If you're home with your kids, maybe your kids can read more. Maybe you guys can develop more technology-free things that you're doing at home, like playing board games, drag out Monopoly or Twister or the game Sorry or Candyland, like create moments, memories. Because if you have little kids, especially, or if you can go spend time with little kids are loving this. No school, hanging out, playing games, and having fun with family. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff you can be doing right now. Make some home cooked meals and, have a cocktail, whatever. Just try to enjoy it as much as you possibly can. Try to have a positive attitude, put on some music, dance it out. When you feel overwhelmed, cry it out, cry. I cried right in the grocery store, gracefully, right here on the corner. Like, I just was like, this is really sad. Like, I can't believe this is happening. Like, I'm standing here buying canned food and it feels so weird. I felt like that in that moment. I mean, it feels kind of cheesy now, but in that moment, I was like, God, and I'm by myself. And it's New York City and it's like, apocalyptic stuff. Like, there's nobody on the street. There really were people on the street, but I was thinking the restaurants are closing and people are it's going to be scary. And, and it kind of is, right, for a while, but then it's like, really, do you have Wi-Fi? Yes. Do you have cable? Yeah. I mean, then I snapped out of it, but I needed to cry in that moment. I needed to feel sorry for myself. So I was spending $300 at a boutique grocery store because I can't get delivery till Friday. I already had enough food anyway, but we don't know what to do. We're just trying to be prepared. We're scared. We're doing random weird crap that we'd never do. So, you know what? Let's just everyone give each other. Like, if you bought too much toilet paper, I forgive you. Okay? I saw this funny tweet. This guy goes, I just had to wipe my ass with a Chipotle napkin. F you. I love that so much. It's like, damn it, I'm using Chipotle napkins. Like, you know what? If you have to use a Chipotle napkin, it is what it is. Like, and if you don't have toilet paper, I'll always talk about poop with you, but you can get in the shower. You guys, there are ways. Be creative if you don't have toilet paper. I mean, it's not the end of the world. So you could be like me, and I freaked out and I bought what I thought was one case of tissues. I have 4 cases of tissue. I have like 36 boxes of Kleenex, which is ridiculous. So, these are the things we're going to talk about later. We're going to look back and we're going to be able to laugh about a lot of things, even though a lot of it is not funny at all. It's just like my grandma who was biting the nurse, or trying to bite. And I remember she just and it was like, oh my God, Grandma, what are you doing? And we all just sat there like stunned. And then we got the giggles, and it was like, if we don't laugh about this, then we're just going to be in the worst depression ever. And so we all, you've had those moments where, people are dying or they just do weird stuff or they're senile, and it's like, it's not funny, but it is. And you just, it's life. This is the stuff that we deal with. So I hope this helped you in some way. And I hope this has given you some different perspectives. So let's pray for each other. Pray for your significant other. Pray for your significant other. You are praying for someone specific. Let me just be clear. You're praying for someone specific. And when you see who that person is, you're going to be like, oh, this is who I've been praying for. So just keep doing that. Be positive. Have expectation. Expect him. Look, girl, he's actually freaking coming, like for real. Okay? This isn't a fantasy. This is like your dude will arrive. He's waiting for you too. So if you're texting some other dude, you're just delaying the process. So you got to like really ask yourself, is this my guy? If not, girl, move on quick. Hurry up. Bye. Bye, guy who's barely texting. And how letter R, U, letter U. What's up? W-T. No, W-U-T. What's up? It's like, bye-bye. I got to meet my soulmate. I got to meet the real deal. I don't have time for this. Move on from that shiz quick. Because think about it. Like, if you knew that you knew that you knew you're going to meet him, it's 100%, then you would like drop that. You would drop him. You would drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Sorry, I'm so weird today. But you know what? You would. Like, so why don't you just act like it? Act like it's 100% gonna happen. Because it's going to. So pray for your guy. Take a look at who's in your inbox and ask yourself, is this the guy? You know it's not. Block, delete, peace out if you need to say goodbye. Because whenever somebody's like, well, I mean, I don't know. I can talk to my exes. I just said to my girlfriend, do you want to meet a guy who's talking to his exes? Do you want his ex-girlfriends to be in his inbox when you start dating? She was like, I don't. Like, right? You know, I mean, I know we've had relationships with these guys, but like, is it really important? Is the relationship in your inbox more important than your significant other who's going to be your soulmate, who's going to be the one person that you really want to be with? How important are those people in that inbox? Really ask yourself that. And does your significant other deserve the respect to be the one and only? Do you want the respect to be the one and only? You know? I know, right? It's like, dang. But it's true. Because you got to clear that space. Sometimes we're like, I'm not meeting the guy. Well, because you need to go listen to Dr. Debbie podcast. Are you looking for approval from people? Are you still trying to meet other people's needs and sacrificing your own needs? Like, you have to get focused on your needs and you have to make sure you are taking care of yourself first. It's so important to be able to have the space to call that next relationship into your life. So you gotta open it up. You got to close the doors on those past relationships. You got to really get honest with yourself about who you're talking to in online dating, and the guys that are just taking up space, but it's like clutter. We need to Marie Kondo our dating apps. Like, really, get really specific. And sometimes taking a break is what will help you get really specific. So I can help you with all aspects. So please, if you're thinking about the Back to You Academy, you do not have to be in a relationship. I would almost prefer that you're not in a relationship to do the academy. I mean, either way, it's fine. But like, if you're not in a relationship, it's a great time to do the academy, because then you can do the work and prepare for the next relationship. So I take you in any stage, whether it's I'm going to end this one and then go through the mourning process and the breakup and then, work on myself, or, wherever you are. But people are like, yeah, I think I'm going to join because I'm going to start dating again. No. You don't have to be dating to do the Back to You Academy, because it's really about focusing on yourself, getting your life stable, figuring out who you are, and doing that healing work. But if you already are dating or you're already in a relationship, we still try to do that work around you to keep you supported, or also help you keep that relationship, if it's a good one, to talk you off the ledges, so you don't bring your past issues into the next relationship. You don't want to be laying old dudes' bones in front of the new guy. Like, imagine if the old relationship was like a dead guy's bones. And you're like, well, I'm show you, see, here's this guy's bones. And then you hand this guy the bones and the carcass of your old boyfriend. And he's like, oh, I don't know what to do with this guy. I didn't know him. I don't have anything to do. You know what? It would just be like weird that we would bring the boyfriend of the past dead bones to him. It's like, it's not his thing. He doesn't, oh, I'm sorry that this guy who's no longer in your life, you know what I mean? It's not his problem. It's not his problem. We have to be really careful that we don't corrupt the brand new love that we have with somebody, with some other dude from the past. That has nothing to do with it. So let's sideline that work. You and I can work on that. Your therapist can work on that. Let's get that stuff handled so we're not bringing it into the new one. Okay? So sorry for the quiet intro and outro. So there won't be outro music for this, but I wanted to just pop in for 1 hour. It's already 1 hour and 5 minutes. God, can I shut up? Never. So I hope this is helpful. Maybe you needed a long podcast to just soothe your nerves. It's going to be okay. You're going to find love. It's going to happen for you. Keep believing. The love of your life does not want to meet you depressed and lonely and sad that he's not there. He's coming. So be happy when he arrives. All right. So I want to help you be happy and ready and positive expectation and doing things in your life that you love. You're creating your beautiful life. You're happy. You're grateful. You're excited. And he's going to meet an enthusiastic, loving girl. So we're going to bring all your beautiful qualities forward. So I think a lot of times they're just buried. Like I always say, my girls are like tight rosebuds. I don't add any petals to you. We just slowly help you bloom. So I'll give you the nutrients and the water and the soil, and each academy, each weekly call, each one-on-one helps bring that beautiful bloom into full focus so that this guy that you're going to meet can see who the heck you are and how wonderful you are. Right now you're hiding so many things and you don't even know, you haven't even seen some of your own petals. You don't even know your petals. Let's get to know your petals. Let's figure out what's in there and bring it forward. It's everything that makes you beautiful, everything you need, everything that the love of your life will fall in love with is already there. Okay? Just remember that. We're not going to change you one bit. We're just going to help you believe who you are and help you see it for yourself. It takes a little time, but that's what you really need to do is believe in yourself and believe that you are lovable. You are amazing. You are beautiful. And I want you to keep imagining there's a guy out there that has exactly what he needs. There's a guy out there that needs exactly what you have. And there's a guy out there that has exactly what you need. And once you figure out who you are and what you need, you're going to know when you've met him. 100%. It's going to be like, oh my God, there he is. This is everything I need. And then you're not going to question anything else because it's just going to be so obvious. Okay? So, I hope this helps you. And so stay safe, social distancing, wash your hands, all the things. Are you so sick of people telling you to wash your hands? It's like, all right, we get it. Wash our hands. It's like enough already. But, sometimes it is hard to remember. And I realize how much I touch my face all the time. Like I constantly have like a small itch by my nose. And then I'm like, oh my God, I have to get it right now. It's like such a like panic thing if I'm out walking the dog. It's like, oh my God. And then I'm totally failing on not petting other people's dogs. I'm like, you're petting the dog, but they've also been petting their dog. What if they had coronavirus? Now the coronavirus is on your hand and you're touching your face. Oh my God, the struggle is real. I can't wait till we have some more clarity. So, all right, you guys, this is going to pass. Remember, we are not going to be in a coronavirus situation forever. So summer 2020 is going to be so good. Most of this will all be behind us. So please stay safe. Please keep yourself healthy. Take your vitamins, drink your water, get your rest, have fun, play music, get together with family, and try to relax. Let's take one more deep breath. And breathe out. Okay, we got this. And we have each other. You're in this community. I love you so much. I'm here for you. Reach out for me. Reach out for me. You can reach out for me. Reach out to me. And I'm happy to help you in any way I can. So Melissa@gumballlove.com. You can find me on Facebook, Find the Gumball Love private VIP group on Facebook as well. Make sure you join that group so you can be in a little bit more private group than the public one. DM me on Instagram. Wherever you find me, I will be there for you. All right. Until next time, I love you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.